Hi, my name's Luke Armstrong, and I'm here with Miss Kamala and Miss Sherry of the 1984 and 85 women's basketball team here at Volunteer High School. They were the first team in Hawkins County and the first team here at Volunteer to go to the state tournament. They played Melrose High, correct?
Yes, Melrose.
All righty, there we go. Um, so, what was it like reaching that level of success here for the first time, Miss Sherry?
It was exciting, but for us, I mean, we always just played hard. We were like a family, you know. At the time, I don't know that we really realized, but when we went out the morning to leave and got out, the whole school was like lined up on both sides, and you had to go through, and everybody was cheering when the bus left. That was exciting. Then you realized, oh, it's pretty important. So, yeah.
So, you mentioned the whole school, and that's obviously a memory, but what was the most fond memory of this team?
Gosh, I don't know. It was just like a big family. We were all like sisters. Our coaches were, they were very supportive. They worked us hard, but it was just, it was just like a family. We played most of us played 3 sports together, so we were together all year and summer ball sometimes. So my fondest memories is just the being together. Even though we were working and practicing, it was just being together It was a lot of fun.
Miss Kamala, what was it like for you reaching that level of success?
Probably, like Sherry said, it was hard work, dedication, but it was amazing to reach that level from just from being here.
And what was your most fond memory from this team?
All the fun we had. I mean, everybody took it serious, and we worked hard to achieve that.
Well,
We'd get on the bus and it would be all chaos.
Oh, my God.
thank you all very much, and congratulations for all your success. My name's Luke, and I'm here with Miss Andrea, Miss Wendy, and Miss Alice of the 1984-85 women's basketball team here at Volunteer, which was the team that went to state. Miss Andrea, we'll start with you. What was it like reaching that level of success here at Volunteer?
Well, the thing that I'll say about that mostly was just the district and then region and sub-state and just the excitement that you could just feel within the school and within the gym as we went through those different steps and we kept winning, etc.
I could only imagine. Miss Wendy, what was it like for you?
It was awesome. I remember the 2,700 people that were in the gym, standing room only. The fire marshal came and was about to shut the gym down. It was amazing. The gifts that they gifted, every time we won a game, we got a new gift.
That's what I was going to say. That was amazing.
It was. They made us feel like royalty. It was just, I'll never forget it.
Miss Alice, what was it like for you, the success that we had made here?
It was the support from the community, from the school, just from everyone. The support. Wendy mentioned the gifts. I remember Miss Gibson gave us pineapples when we won a game. I'd never had a real pineapple. Anyway, it was just unique, and it was wonderful, and the support, you could just feel it, and it was awesome to be part of something that made everyone so proud.
And you all are mentioning all these things like memories. What would you all say that your most fond memory is? We'll start with you again, Miss Andrea.
Oh, wow. Well, I was a freshman. It wasn't really on the court. It was just being part of the team and going through the practices and learning from the older girls. So not just one specific thing, just all of it really from end to end. It was a great experience.
Miss Wendy?
Oh, there were several. Playing Oak Ridge in the sub-state and hosting it here. And they had a player that eventually played at Stanford and was an Olympian and in the WNBA. And I remember that win and taking like 3 charges that night and just upsetting them. I remember how much fun that was in the crowd, and just it was a great night. That was one of the best nights of my life.
Miss Alice?
Oh, I'm more general when I'm thinking about what I remember the most. And mine goes back to the sense of community. Just being part, what I remember were the families, everyone's families coming and being able to look in the crowd and seeing the people who had supported you at all those games and the pride they felt. And just, again, just to be part of something so great. It was a real honor.
Thank you all very much, and congratulations. Yet again, I was sitting there the other day looking at this, and it was wonderful to sit there and look at what all you all had accomplished. So thank you all very much. I'm here with Coach Dennis Anderson of the 84-85 women's basketball team here at Volunteer. Coach Anderson, what was it like reaching that level of success here at Volunteer?
Well, very exciting. New ground broken. Girls played. They peaked at the right time. You know, that's the thing with them. And when you're in tournament, that's what you want to do. You want to peak at tournament time, and that's what they did.
And that's to say the least. Yes, sir, it is. You know, I was looking back through the games that you all played. I got on TWSWA and tried to do my research on this one, and y'all did a great job coming through the district tournament and the conference tournament and things like that. It was really, really cool seeing the teams that I've played here at Volunteer as a basketball player and the teams that you all have played, and you all did a great job.
Well, the thing I remember most is actually the sub-state game against Oak Ridge, and Oak Ridge had a point guard named Jennifer Azey, and she went on to be a WNBA player. She went to Stanford and played college, and beating the team that she was on, and the gymnasium was absolutely cram-packed over here at Volunteer. They had those old wooden bleachers, which held more people than what it does now, and there was people just cram-packed together, and it was very, very exciting.
And yeah, I was speaking with Mr. Bailey, and he said, you know, there was standing room only. There was almost 2,700 people in that gym. Would you call that your most fond memory here, or what would your most fond memory be of the team?
I'd say it would have to be that night. Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you very much, Coach Anderson.
Yes, sir.
I'm here with head coach of the year, Dennis Bellamy, of the 1984-85 women's basketball team here at Volunteer High School. Coach Bellamy, what was it like to get to that level of success here at Volunteer?
Well, it was tough for us the first couple of years because we started here in 1980, and of course we were a AAA school playing against established programs already like Science Hill, DB, so forth. So we had our hands full, but I just had some great athletes that come through there during the 80s. I wish I could say it was all my coaching, but that's not true. I had good athletes. You got to have good athletes first. But for us to get where we did, we were. I still have referees that still call your all's games now. That comes in and talks to me and talks about how good of kids I had back in, and I said, well, it wasn't me, it was more them. You know that. So, but as far as coach of the year, I mean, that's sort of something you get tagged on. When you win, you get that. Whether they don't usually give it to a losing coach, but I was very fortunate just to have some of the best athletes that ever come through here, and their records showed it. And it's just. It was a blessing. It really was. I really enjoyed it. I love coaching girls basketball. I coached it about 28 years all total, and so. But I still come and watch them play. That's the thing. I come and watch you guys play too.
Definitely. You touched on their accolades. I'm sorry, not alkalides. But just I was looking back through, the history with Mr. Bailey, and I got on TWSWA to look at what you all had done, and multiple all-conference athletes, multiple district athletes.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see how good they were, and then to top it all off, you had a coach of the year to help them out.
Well, there was 3 straight years there that we won the district tournament, and we should have qualified for the state the year before. We got beat in the regional finals against Science Hill. And so we was one game away from having an opportunity. The next year we beat Science Hill, and then we played Oak Ridge here in the sub-state game. And to this day, I still remember coming up here. I didn't expect, nothing all that much difference. I walked in this gym at like 5 o'clock, 5:30. The place was packed. I've never seen more people here at a basketball game since then or before then. It's really just what the community thought of the players that I had, the families, and even the opponents. I mean, I had a lot of the coaches coming from Science Hill and DB and everything else to watch us. So it was great. It really was. It was something I'll always remember for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. All the players that I've interviewed previously have said something about how packed the gym was during the sub-state game.
Oh.
And while I was talking to Mr. Bailey earlier this week about this team, he said he pulled up the records and he saw how many people were here, and that was just something that was astonishing.
Oh,
to
yeah,
me.
it was mind-boggling for me back then. I mean, I expected a good crowd. The downstairs, say it's going to be full. But when you look up and you see the upstairs packed too, it was something to see that day. Maybe we were blessed, but thank goodness we played here. If we'd have had to go to Oak Ridge, it'd have been tougher. But playing at home, really, I mean, the fans pulled us through on that one. I think we won the game 3 or 4 points, something like it. It was a good game.
I was looking at the bracket for the state tournament earlier today, and you mentioned Science Hill, how you lost to them the year before, but you beat them this year.
Yeah.
Science Hill was the only other team out of your all's conference, I do believe, that made it to the state tournament.
Right. Was, and the team. I don't exactly know how they do state tournaments now, but back then they do a draw somehow. I mean, I'm not really sure how they even done it then, to tell you the truth. But we had to face the top team first game. Memphis Melrose was sort of the favorite going in, and we played them really tough. We were tied with them at halftime. It was nip and tuck in the third, and they finally pulled away just a little bit in the fourth quarter. I can't exactly remember what the scores were, but it was maybe 10, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I can't remember. But the rest of the games they played, they blew everybody out. They won the state tournament that year, and they just poured it on everybody else. So it was like I told the girl back then. I said, "Hey, you played pretty dadburn tough.
Yeah.
Look what they done to everybody else."
Yeah, you did. And you mentioned the final score ended up being 78-63 to TSSAA, 15 points.
Yeah, but it just sort of snowballed a little bit right there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Coach, congratulations on all these things.
I wouldn't take nothing for it, but as I say, it was nothing to me. It was the kids that I had and the support I had from the parents.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But this team became the first program in volunteer high school history to earn their way to the TSSAA basketball state championship while playing in the large school classification. Their accomplishments included the Elite Eight, losing only to the eventual state champion, the number 1 team in Tennessee, and the number 4 ranked team in the nation, Memphis Melrose, by the closest margin of victory of any team that year. After trailing by 1 at halftime, they succumbed to defeat 78-63. Before that, they were sub-state champions, defeating Oak Ridge 51-48. Regional champions winning over Science Hill 46-35. District champions with a victory over Sullivan South 66-58. And a regular season record of 27-8 while competing in the Big 9 conference that included Volunteer, Dobbins-Bennett, Science Hill, Tennessee High, Sullivan Central, Sullivan South, Sullivan North, Sullivan East, Elizabethton, and then Independent, Daniel Boone. According to this team, their favorite memory from that year was hosting the sub-state game here at Volunteer against Oak Ridge. An estimated 2,700 fans packed the nest that night in support of the Lady Falcons, with standing room only, and the doors were locked at halftime. It was an amazing night. Team members include Wendy Marshall Overby, Camilla Vinton, Pamela Vinton, Andrea Grimes Christian, Sherry Henry Tate, Alice Dykes Browder, Sheila Craddock, Becky Wagner, Amy Kiersey, Stacy Watson, and April Watt Rogers. They were coached by legendary coaches Dennis Bellamy, Dennis Anderson, and Jimmy Smith. In attendance with us tonight are Wendy, Kamala, Andrea, Sherry, Alice, Coach Bellamy, Coach Anderson, and unfortunately Coach Smith could not be with us tonight as previously scheduled. Again, we commend you on your tremendous season and welcome you back to Volunteer High School at any time. You helped build the nest, and we are forever grateful for the way this team represented Volunteer. Falcon and Chief Nations, let's give these ladies a round of applause and standing ovation to welcome them back to Volunteer High School for the 40-year anniversary of that memorable and magical season. One last note, all of you coaches in attendance that have these big halftime speeches, the halftime speech of that game was simply this: girls, you're doing exactly what I told you not to do, but you're playing great. Keep doing it. As they ran up and down the court against a very athletic Memphis Melrose team. Again, congratulations, Lady Falcons 1984-1985 State Tournament Team. Thank you for your attendance and being with us tonight.